You know one of the new becoming popular tourist destinations for Koreans to the Philippines is Bohol. Bohol. And Bohol is a smaller island than Cebu. It is very close to Cebu, neighbor. The neighbor of Cebu, and they have beautiful beaches, but also a lot of nature tourism. There are the chocolate hills of Bohol. There are series of hills, but from afar they look like chocolate candy. So they are called Chocolate Hill.
압도적 경제 콘텐츠 삼프로TV의 악권. 안녕하세요. 삼프로TV 권순우 취재팀장이고요.
반갑습니다. 저는 이주호 기자입니다.
오늘 정말 특별한 시간을
굉장히 네.
근데 저는 우리 시청자들 가끔 보다 보면
네.
뭐 이런 것까지 관심이 이렇게 많으신가. 그리고 이렇게 다양한 나라에 관심이 많으신가. 그래서 항상
그만큼 눈높이가 높습니다.
네, 그래서 항상 고민이 되는데 진짜 해외 이슈 관련해서는 도대체 어떤 분을 모셔야 정말 우리 시청자들의 눈높이를 맞출 수 있을까?
네네.
그러니까 뭐 여기저기 이제 전문가라는 분들도 굉장히 중요한데
그걸 다들 알고 계시죠?
그렇죠.
네?
그래서 그냥 아예 그 나라에 대해서
네.
진짜 잘하는 사람을 모셔봐야 되겠다.
어떤 분이 있을까요?
그래가지고 우리 알면서 이렇게 대화 주고받는.
네.
그래서 아무래도 그 나라에 대해서 제일 잘 알고 한국 사람들에게 자신들의 나라를 설명해 줄 수 있는
바로 그분.
한국에는 한 110여 개 해외 공간이 있습니다. 그 공간에는 우리나라와 그 나라의 어떤 교류 협력을 위해 와 계신 대사님들이 계시죠. 그래서 뭐 그 나라에 대해서 궁금하면 그 나라에 대해서 제일 잘하는 분을 모시면 되겠다. 대사님을 모시면 되겠다. 그런 취지로 오늘은 필리핀 대사님을 모시고 필리핀의 경제와 문화 그리고 한국과의 교류 협력 관련한 이야기를 좀 나눠보려고 하는데요. 옆에 앉아 계십니다. 마리아 데레사 데베가 주한 필리핀 대사관 대사님이십니다. 안녕하십니까?
안녕하세요.
안녕하십니까? 저는 필리핀 대사 데레사 데베가입니다. 반갑습니다.
한국말 되게 잘하시는데요?
네, 저는 한국을 조금합니다. 조금.
조금.
그러셨구나. 그 대사님에 대해서 좀 간단하게 자기 소개를 좀 먼저 부탁을 드릴게요.
I am Teresa de Vega. I have been the Philippine ambassador to Korea for more than 2 years now. I have been a professional diplomat and I'm also a lawyer, 변호사, for almost 3 decades now. 29 years in the Philippine diplomatic service. And I'm very, very happy and I feel very privileged and honored to serve my country in Korea.
그리고 이제 필리핀에 대해서 좀 아시는 분들은 아시겠지만
네.
사실 관광이라든지 이거 말고는 잘 모르기도 하는 것 같아요.
거의 모르시고요.
그래서 대사님께 직접 그 필리핀이란 나라는 어떤 나라인가를 한번 여쭤보고 싶습니다.
Well, aside of course from our beautiful tourism sites where we welcome a lot of our Korean friends, the Philippines is also very rich in natural resources, in minerals, for example, and we are also known as a country of festivals and fiestas. We have very famous festivals throughout the year and fiestas practically every month of the year. These range from harvest festivals, like the harvest festivals in Davao, but also religious festivals like the Sinulog in Cebu, which is in honor of the infant Jesus. We also are a mix of several races, Malay, also with some influences from the United States, from Spain, of course, from other countries in Asia. So we are a mix, we are a blend of East and West.
와, 이게 매달 축제가 있다라는 게 굉장히 인상적인데 물론 우리가 이제 차차 필리핀에 대한 그 경제 산업적인 얘기를 나눠보겠지만 일단 저렇게 축제 얘기를 하시니까 안 물어볼 수가 없잖아요.
그렇죠.
그러면은 이게 필리핀이 가지고 있는 어떤 문화적인 특성, 이게 뭐 명절이라든지 축제 아니면 음식 그런 문화적인 특성에 대해서 좀 여쭤보고 싶어요.
Well, one very interesting thing about the Philippines is that we have the longest Christmas season in the world. As early as September, there are already signs of the Christmas celebration in the Philippines. So in September, the shopping malls, they start putting out Christmas decorations already, and they start playing Christmas songs on the radio.
어.
So it is a very long celebration of Christmas from September up to January. So I hope one day you will have the opportunity to experience Christmas in the Philippines, because it is quite something else. It is one of the most lively celebrations of Christmas in terms of our cuisine, of our food, because we are a blend of East and West. There are many influences. Our food also reflects that. So there is Spanish influence in dishes, popular dishes like adobo. Adobo, which is chicken and pork in soy sauce and vinegar. There is also the famous Philippine soup called sinigang. Sinigang, which is popular among Koreans. If you go to YouTube, for example, many Koreans like to cook their version of sinigang. And sisig. Also, and a lot of fresh seafood.
시식.
Yes. There is one Philippine dessert which is similar to Korean food. We have what we call the halo-halo. Halo-halo, and this is crushed ice with different kinds of fruit and other sweet food items.
like 빙수.
Like bingsu, so it is very similar to pat bingsu. Very similar. Halo-halo. Halo-halo. And of course, for sports, the number one sport in the Philippines is basketball. Basketball. And I know basketball is also well loved here in Korea. In fact, some of the popular professional Filipino basketball players are now with the Korean Basketball League, playing here in Korea. Some of them, a few of them, and many Filipinos still remember the legendary Korean basketball player Shin Dong-pa. Many years ago. I was still a baby. So basketball is very number one sport, but we are also starting to enjoy football. Like Koreans, it's very popular here. Also volleyball and martial arts. We have martial arts like arnis. Taekwondo is also popular. Taekwondo is popular in the Philippines. Yes, it's also popular in the Philippines.
근데
필리핀이
9월에서 1월까지
우리 필리핀을 여름에만 갈 생각했죠. 이거 겨울에 가야 되는 국가네요.
근데 가을부터 가 있어야
가을부터 가 있어야 되는 국가군요. 필리핀이. 참 새롭습니다. 자, 근데 이게 지금 보니까 음식도 뭐 스페인에서부터 나온 음식도 있고 인구도 말레이, 미국, 동서양이 많이 섞여 있다고 했는데 분명 이렇게 된 데는 어떤 필리핀의 역사적 배경이 있을 것 같거든요. 그 설명을 좀 해주실 수 있을까요?
Well, the mixture of the Philippines, which you can still see, you can see a lot of it today, is that we had a very rich pre-colonial history. And then the Spaniards came, the Spanish came in the 16th century, and we were under Spanish colonial rule up to the 19th century, up to the late 19th century. So almost 400 years under Spain, and that is why majority of the Filipinos, over 83%, are Roman Catholic. So we are the largest Roman Catholic country in Asia. And what's interesting is after the Spanish left, at the turn of the century, the start of the 20th century, we were under American colonial rule for almost for 40 years. For almost 40 years. We also had a very short period under Japanese imperial rule during the Second World War. During the Second World War. And then, of course, we gained independence after World War II, after the Second World War. So we are a mix. So 400 years Catholics in the church, 40 years in Hollywood with America. That is what we always say. So that has given rise to the mix. But then now we have a very strong Asian identity with our membership in ASEAN and with a very close relationship now with our neighbors in the Asia Pacific, like Korea, for example.
근데 생각해 보면은 필리핀이라는 나라를 떠올릴 때 약간 좀 이렇게 미국적인 느낌을 좀 받게 되는데
왠지 영어도 잘할 것 같고 아니 필리핀에 영어 배우러 유학도 많이 가잖아요.
그렇죠. 근데 아까 대사님 말씀 중에 그래도 그 중에 가장 중요한 정체성이 아세안이라는 것도 어쩌면은 직접 들으니까 조금 이렇게 새롭게
그러니까요.
다가오기도 하는 것 같아요. 근데 우리가 지금 이렇게 필리핀에 대한 이렇게 오해와 진실을 좀 풀어보려고 하는데 필리핀에서 좀 더 이렇게 안전하게 그 사업을 하고 여행을 하고 하려고 그러면 어떻게 해야 될까요?
Yes, it's true. A lot of Koreans travel to the Philippines for leisure, so as tourists, and then some go to the Philippines to study English because we are the second largest English-speaking country in the world.
Yeah.
But to have a very good and nice stay in the Philippines, whether you are staying for a few days, 1 week, or for several months or several years, it's very important, I think, to first do some research, to study about the Philippines. And actually, we have a Philippine Tourism Office here in Seoul, so you can get, the public can get a lot of information about the country, where to go, what to do, tips for travelers on their website, also at the on the Philippine Embassy website. I think, well, the Philippines is generally a safe and pleasant country. The people are very warm and welcoming. We have what we call Filipino hospitality. But also for our Korean friends, because the biggest number of visitors to the Philippines come from Korea. We have also have special services like the tourism police. If visitors from Korea have any questions, they have special help desks for Korean visitors, especially in the big cities where a lot of Koreans like to travel, like in the Clark area, because a lot of Koreans go there to play golf, because golf is very popular among Koreans, or in Cebu, or in Manila. So we have that specialized service for our Korean visitors. So that I hope will make our Korean friends feel more safe and also excited to travel to the Philippines.
저는 또 이게 되게 인상 깊네요. 대한민국인을 위한 폴리스,
그러니까
헬프데스크가 있다.
근데 그게 사실 어느 나라나 이제 자국민이 느끼는 것과 우리나라가 외국에 갔을 때 느끼는 게 좀 다르잖아요. 근데 그럴 때 이제 좀 더 뭐 우리는 괜찮은데라고 해서 그냥 넘어가는 게 아니고,
그렇죠.
그럼 니네가 불편하다면
우리가 도와줄게.
너희를 위한 뭐 경찰을 또 지원해줄게. 그런 것들도 참 인상적이었던 것 같아요.
그러니까요. 자, 그런데 이제 필리핀 하면 또 떠오르는 게 이게 오해일 수도 있는데 여성들의 경제 활동이 남성들보다 많다는 오해가 있어요. 이게 사실인가 궁금하거든요.
In the Philippines, many people will say that we are a matriarchal society, meaning it is the women in the family who decide in business, in politics, family decisions. To some extent, it is true. We have a lot of women entrepreneurs. In the Philippines, the mothers in the family, aside from taking care of the children, they also have businesses. So they are natural business women, business people in the Philippines. They can sell anything. They can do anything, actually. But also we have to do more. We still have a lot of women who do not have the access to economic means. So the government and the private sector are working together to give more economic opportunities to the women, especially from the poorer sections of society.
참 이게 오해라고 하기에 뭐 이게 오해라 그러는 뭔가 부정적인 건데
네네.
뭔가 여성의 경제 활동이 활발하다는 거는 뭐 나쁜 건 아니니까
그렇죠.
오히려 좀 이렇게 낯설게 느껴지긴 하네요. 이게 뭔가 이거 우리 편견인 것 같아요. 개발도상국은
네.
이렇게 여성들의 사회 진출이 잘 안 된다 뭐 이런 생각을 뭐
그렇죠.
그것도 우리의 편견이지
네.
필리핀에서는 너무나 자연스러운
네.
그런 일이 아닌가 싶습니다. 그래서 생각해 보면은 사실 그 팬데믹 기간 동안 전 세계적으로 교류를 잘 못하다 보니까 이제 각국이 어떻게 팬데믹을 낯섰는지에 대해서도 잘 모르는 것 같아요. 그러니까 필리핀은 어떻게 팬데믹을 좀 낯으며 사실 관광 산업이 좀 주요하게 돼 있는 국가들 경우에는 이게 굉장히 많이 힘들었을 건데. 그때 좀 어떤 경제 상황이었고 지금은 좀 어떤지가 좀 궁금합니다.
Well, for the pandemic was a game changer in the Philippines, as it was for many countries, including Korea, because of the challenges during the pandemic. A lot of businesses were affected. A lot of businesses turned to e-commerce, for example, or online commerce, online platforms, and I think that will stay for some time. In the Philippines, for example, many companies now have developed an online platform because even after the pandemic, they realized the potential for electronic commerce, for e-commerce, for online commerce. And also, I think one of the more positive effects of the pandemic is that more and more businesses and companies, including the Philippines, are becoming more sustainable and resilient. I think that's also very important. Of course, one of the industries which was hardest hit by the pandemic for the Philippines was the tourism industry. Because it is a very important part of our economy. But since the restrictions have been lifted, I'm very pleased to share with you that the Philippine tourism industry is recovering. It is one of the segments which is recovering the fastest. In fact, as of July this year, the Philippine Department of Tourism has already achieved 70% of its target tourist arrivals for the whole year. So there are very good signs that they will meet the target and even go beyond the target for this year. And I'm also pleased to share that out of the visitors to the Philippines, the international visitors, Korea is number one. 25% of the international tourists to the Philippines from January to July of this year are from Korea. So number one since last year, actually, since late last year. So we will try to keep Korea as the number one source for our visitors.
One of them. One of them.
And I'm pleased to note that one of our co-hosts today is one of those Koreans who very kindly visited the Philippines this year.
예. 그 전자상거래 얘기를 조금 해주셨는데 우리는 뭐 이렇게 우리가 사실 한국만 쓰는 플랫폼이 있잖아요.
그쵸, 네.
카카오, 네이버 이런 거 쓰는데 그 필리핀 분들은 온라인 플랫폼은 주로 어떤 거 쓰세요? 뭐 메신저라든지 아니면 이커머스라든지 이런 건 좀 주로 어떤 걸 쓰세요?
Well, e-commerce for e-commerce brands, we have platforms like Lazada, Shopee.
Shopee.
Shopee, very popular. Shopee, very easy. And of course, even the for financial technology, now more and more Filipinos are using digital platforms to pay and to buy and purchase things. So with the use of their mobile phones and of course online social media, SNS is very popular in the Philippines. Filipinos are among the top users of Facebook. Facebook for example. Facebook. And also messaging apps. Viber, WhatsApp. WhatsApp, Telegram. So here in Korea, you have Kakao, Naver. So it's the same. More and more Filipinos are are using digital platforms.
그 지금까지는 이제 관광 산업을 중심으로 좀 얘기를 해봤는데 사실 관광 산업은 한국 사람들 입장에서도 눈에 보이는 거고, 그러니까 필리핀 전체적인 어떤 그 산업 구조 그리고 이제 좀 특별히 주력 산업이 있다면 좀 어떤 부분들이 좀 영향을 많이 미치는 산업인가요?
Well, the major industries in the Philippines, of course, are in in terms of manufacturing, the electronic parts industries, automobile, the manufacturing parts, for example, are very important. Business process outsourcing. BPO, especially now the higher value BPO. Of course, there is also food processing, food production, and information and communications technology, ICT, logistics, and real estate or property development. These are all very important industries in the Philippines. We are also now pushing for more activity in the infrastructure sector and also in the energy sector, and more on green technology, sustainable technology.
이게 사실 에너지 산업이나 에너지 기술 같은 경우는 이제 국가별로 이제 굉장히 좀 다른 환경에 있을 건데 필리핀에서 주로 관심 갖고 있는 이런 에너지, 지속 가능한 그린 테크놀로지는 좀 어떤 분야예요?
Well, for the Philippines, our updated energy roadmap, energy plan for the Philippines includes an effort to shift more and more to renewable and to green energy sources, so solar, hydro, natural gas. We are also now exploring the use of nuclear technology for energy purposes, safe nuclear technology for energy purposes. We have a ban on the opening of new coal fired plants because we want to move away from coal dependency within a certain time frame. So these are some of the things that we're doing to move towards the green energy sector more and more. And this is also part of our commitment, part of our national commitments under the Paris Treaty, under the Paris Agreement.
에너지 전환 이야기가 나왔으니까 말인데 필리핀 여행 가서 뭐 타고 다니셨어요?
저는 그 리조트에서 제공하는 버스를 타고 다녔습니다.
아 그래요? 근데 필리핀은 되게 제가 알기로는 필리핀이 갖고 있는 게 독특한 뭐 이동수단, 그 서민들이 이용하는 이동수단, 뭐 트라이시클, 지프니 이런 것들이 되게 많이 사용된다고 들었어요. 그래서 이거를 친환경적으로 바꾸기 위해서 전동화시킨다는 계획도 있었던 걸로 알고 있는데 이와 관련된 어떤 노력이 있는지 어떻게 실행하실 계획인지가 궁금해요.
Well, to help in reducing greenhouse gas emissions in the Philippines, we are reforming and modernizing the public utility vehicle sector. So in the Philippines, you have the tricycle and the jeepney. The jeepney is very well known. Now we are developing the e-jeepney. E-jeepneys. So these are electric jeepneys, electric vehicles for public use, and there are some cities already in the Philippines, especially in Manila, in Metro Manila, which now have pilot e-jeepney projects. The same with the e-tricycle. And to help this sector develop more, green transportation, we passed last year in April 2022 the e-vehicle Industry Development Act of the Philippines. So the new law provides incentives for the development of the e-vehicle industry, including the development of charging stations, incentives for importation of e-vehicles, development of the support industries for parts, for the batteries, for example, for the e-vehicle industry. So we are trying to catch up with the green transport revolution. And we know that Korea is a leading country for the e-vehicle industry, so we are pushing for more partnership with Korea on the e-vehicle sector.
근데 이게 사실 우리나라에서도 고민인데 아까 석탄 발전을 줄이고 좀 더 재생에너지를 늘리고 또 자동차 같은 경우도 내연기관을 좀 줄이고 좀 전기차를 좀 늘리는 쪽에 방향을 잡고 계신 것 같은데 사실 우리나라 같은 경우도 이걸 할 때 일단은 그 기존에 뭐 석탄 발전을 하셨던 분들의 뭐 일자리 문제라든지 아니면은 재생에너지가 좀 더 가격이 좀 비싸서 이런 비용적인 고민들을 많이 하거든요. 좀 필리핀은 이런 부분에 대해서는 좀 어떤가요?
Yes, actually that's very important. Actually, for example, just as an example, under the new e-vehicle law of the Philippines, one major portion of that law is on human resource capacity development. So this means that the government working with the private sector will provide a system or platform where we can train people for the new energy demands so that they will not be displaced. So they will have new skill sets for the more sustainable industries. So it is the same with the energy sector. So now is the time to train people for green technology so they can work in the green technology sector. So that they do not lose jobs or livelihood.
이것도 우리도 많이 고민했던 거였었잖아요.
그쵸.
자, 업종을 전환하게 됐을 때 그러면 과연 이곳에서 일하던 분들이 이곳에서 일을 할 수 있겠느냐, 막 이런 고민도 많았고 똑같은 고민이 지금 필리핀에도 있는 것 같은데
예.
저는 어차피 이제 우리가 친환경 에너지 전환 이야기를 하고 있으니까 대사님께서 처음에 원자재가 풍부한 국가라고 소개를 해주셨었거든요. 그러면 이제 배터리와 관련된 원자재도 많은 걸로 알고 있는데 그러니까 배터리와 관련된 배터리 산업과 관련된 어떤 계획을 갖고 계신지 좀 궁금해요.
Yes, the Philippines is the second largest source of nickel in the world, and nickel is very important for the battery industry, for the e-vehicle industry. Actually, we are inviting investors to come to the Philippines for sustainable processing of nickel, and not just nickel but other critical raw minerals which are very important for the new industries now, especially for the e-vehicle industry, the new green technology industries, the new critical minerals are going to be very important along with the major minerals like nickel. And the Philippines has actually been inviting investments and partners from other countries, hopefully also from Korea, for sustainable mining, so that we can create a very strong value chain, supply value chain for the raw materials, to be able to process it sustainably and to be able to supply the industries around the world, including Korea, for example, so that the industry can keep on producing what the world needs.
야, 이게 니켈 많다 그러니까
혹하죠?
뭔가 좀 친하게 지내고 싶은 생각이 확 들어가는데
네네.
사실 그게 우리나라는 배터리 산업이 많이 발전해 있지만 원자재 공급망에서는 그 사실상 아무것도 없잖아요.
네.
근데 사실 우리 고민 중에 하나가 요즘에 그 글로벌 통상 환경에서 배터리 소재가 대표적인데 우리는 사실 중국이랑 교역을 많이 해왔는데 이게 그 미국이랑 이제 중국이랑 좀 사이가 안 좋아지면서 약간 그 통상 환경의 변화에 따른 영향을 좀 받고 있잖아요. 그 대사님께 여쭤보고 싶었던 게 이게 그 필리핀도 이런 그 중국이랑 가깝고 또 미국과도 관계가 깊고 그랬을 때 이런 글로벌 통상 환경 변화에 따라서 좀 어떤 영향을 받고 계신지가 좀 궁금해요.
Well, it's very challenging for the Philippines because the U.S. is a long-standing treaty ally, also a very important economic partner for the Philippines. In fact, our top trading partner is the U.S. and China is also one of our top trading partners. But I think for the Philippines, we are trying to balance We are trying to balance these things. But we are also trying to find more opportunities for business and not just be dependent too much on the US and China. And because of that, we are reaching out to other countries, especially countries in the region, countries which we have had very good business relations, like Korea, for example. We have very good relations and economic engagement with Korea in the semiconductor industry, in the chip industry, in the electronics industry. So we would like to continue that. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to balance the US and China, but we are also going out and finding other partners, new partners. So we are able to face the challenges of the economic rivalry between the US and China. We do not want to choose. We cannot say only this country or only this country. The foreign policy of our President Marcos, is we have to be a good friend and partner to all. To
역시
all
그러니까.
the countries.
가장 현명한.
그리고 일단 우리만의 고민은 아니었습니다.
그러니까요. 같은 고민을 이렇게 하고 계신지 몰랐네요.
그럼 좀 더 이제 좀 캐주얼한 질문들을 좀 드려보죠. 이제 너무
그럴까요?
심각한 얘기들 많이 했으니까.
어려운 얘기 넘어가고 이제 좀 즐겁고
네.
쉬운 과연 필리핀 국민들은 한국에 대해서 어떻게 생각할까? 내지는 한국인에 대해서 어떻게 생각할까에 대한 궁금증이 있거든요. 혹시 필리핀 사람들은 한국 콘텐츠들, 뭐 음악이 될 수도 있고요, 드라마가 될 수도 있고 영화가 될 수도 있는데 이런 것들을 좀 많이 좋아하나요?
I think the Filipinos have a very positive image of Koreans in general, and the popularity of Hallyu content, of the Hallyu wave, has helped to a great extent. Many Filipinos like K-pop, and during the pandemic, a lot of Filipinos started watching a lot of Korean content, especially Korean drama. Korean series, especially those available on OTT streaming platforms. So Korean content became very popular, and also other aspects of Korean culture are becoming more and more known in the Philippines. Of course, there is K-beauty, Korean beauty products. Filipinos like the women, especially like the Korean beauty products, very popular in the Philippines, and also K-food.
K-food.
Korean food, hansik. Hansik is very popular in the Philippines. You know, in my neighborhood in Metro Manila, I live in Metro Manila. From my house, there are 5-minute walk. In my neighborhood, there are 3 Korean restaurants. Two samgyeopsal restaurants, and then 1 Korean bakery, Korean style bakery. You know, with cream bread and bread with red bean inside. So very popular. So I think it is very positive, and also because more Filipinos now remember that the Philippines also took part in the Korean War. So there is a very good feeling, very positive feeling among Filipinos.
근데 또 여기 모셔가지고
네.
듣기 좋으라고
그렇게
이런
말씀하시는 걸 수도
얘기를
있어요.
걸 수도 있으니까 그러면 다른 사람 얘기 말고
네.
대사님은 혹시 그 한국의 문화에 좀 관심이 있으신 부분이 따로 있으신지를 좀 여쭤보고 싶습니다. 남들 얘기 말고 본인 얘기.
Well, you know, Korea. I have always been interested in Korea for many years now, even before I became ambassador to Korea. I have been following Korean film, for example.
필름?
Film. Korean film. Some of my favorite directors are Korean. Lee Chang-dong,
이창동,
Park Chan-wook. These are some of my favorite directors, and I've watched a lot of Korean films and also dramas. I also watch a lot of Korean dramas when I have time. and I listen to Korean music also. But if I tell you who my favorite singers are, or the favorite groups, you will guess my age. You will know how old I am. But I enjoy Korean content very much, but also I'm also very interested in the history. It started when I started reading about the Filipinos who served in the Korean War. And then I started reading more and more about Korean history and Korean traditions.
배우 이름만 말씀하셨으면 이거 그냥 우리 기분 좋으라고 하는 소리다 할 줄 알았는데 감독님 이름을 말하신 거면
그리고 이런 감독님들은 또 이게 대중 감독님들이 아니야. 이창동, 박찬욱 정도면 이게 정말 이게 영화 작품성을
그렇죠.
따지시는 것 같은데
진짜 K 콘텐츠를 사랑하는 마음이 느껴지는.
그럼 어차피 대사님 모셨으니까
네네.
우리 그냥 솔직하게 좀 물어봅시다.
맞지?
우리가 그 필리핀 갔을 때 뻔히 아는 세부
그런데 말고
대사님이 추천해 주실 만한 필리핀의 장소, 음식
그렇죠.
뭐 이런 것들은 좀 어떤 게 있는지 좀 여쭤보고 싶습니다.
You know, one of the new becoming popular tourist destinations for Koreans to the Philippines is Bohol. Bohol. And Bohol is a smaller island than Cebu. It is very close to Cebu, neighbor. The neighbor of Cebu, and they have beautiful beaches, but also a lot of nature tourism. There are the chocolate hills of Bohol. They're series of hills, but from afar they look like chocolate candy. So they are called chocolate hills. And then we also have there on Bohol the tarsier, which is a very, very small mammal. It can fit in your hand. But now they don't allow you to hold the tarsier. You can just look. Tarsier. And also Bohol is very good for heritage tourism because there are a lot of churches there during the Spanish period, and some of them are made, they have seashells in the walls and the facade because Bohol is beside the sea. So that is becoming one of the new places for our Korean friends and also many international tourists. Of course, for leisure and sports, Clark is always a popular destination. We have some of the best golf ranges in Asia. They're in Clark. Of course, Palawan. Palawan is also a very beautiful place, very quiet, very peaceful, very healing. It's a very healing place. It has been named the world's one of the world's best islands consistently by different travel magazines, international travel magazines. So these are just some of the places that you may want to visit.
우리 관광지 들었으니까요. 사실 숨어 있는 맛집 한번 들어봐야 되잖아요. 그 대사님 한국에 계시다가 그 가끔 귀국하실 때 필리핀으로 돌아가셨을 때 이건 꼭 먹고 돌아온다 맛집 있을까요?
Yes, I have maybe two favorite restaurants. Two favorite restaurants in the Philippines. One is a very nice bakery and restaurant called Wildflower. Wildflower. So they serve lunch, breakfast, brunch with Philippine Asian flavor and also a bakery. And also for me, good Philippine food, Philippine buffet, Cafe Ilang Ilang.
Ilang Ilang.
Cafe Ilang Ilang at the Manila Hotel.
이런 데 가야 돼요.
근데 되게 멋있는 음식을 좋아하시는군요.
That's a very hard question. Very hard because there are many restaurants
Yes,
in the
yes.
Philippines.
그럼 한국에 계시는 동안에는 한 2년여 정도 계셨는데 좀 기억에 남는 한국 레스토랑은 있으신가요?
Here in Korea, okay, can I say the name of the restaurant? Is it okay?
Sure.
오케이.
For samgyeopsal,
Yeah.
I like manjung.
반중.
In Samcheongdong. Recommended by our local staff from Korea. And that's one of my favorite restaurants. Very good beef.
이제 가게에 써놓겠네요. 필리핀 대사가 찍은
맛집.
If you go to that restaurant, I have there is a card where I say
autograph.
the autograph. 축하합니다. Congratulations, Manju. It's on the wall. Actually, many desanim, a lot of ambassadors I see their autograph there.
네, 한국 계시면서 좀 좋은 점과 나쁜 점을 꼽아보자면 좀 어떤 부분들이 있으셨어요?
Oh, I don't want to talk about the bad things, only the good things. In Korea, I find the people very helpful and very efficient. Very efficient. I personally, I like to do things very fast. Personally, so I like it when the Koreans do things very fast also. So sometimes some people are not used to it. You know, those who are not Korean, they're not used to pali pali. But I'm okay with pali pali. I find it. I find them very efficient. I find Korea very efficient when it comes to meetings, conferences. All these things. I am impressed by the attention to the heritage and the culture and the history that both institutions, the government, and the Korean people, pay attention to their. They value very much their history, their traditions, their culture. I think that's very important. How proud you are of your culture. I think that's very important, and I find that very, very impressive.
사실 요즘에 한국은 그 청년들의 어떤 취업이라든지 아니면 결혼이라든지 뭐 육아라든지 이런 부분에 대한 고민이 되게 많아요. 근데 필리핀은 좀 어때요?
Well, there are, of course, challenges in terms of, they also have challenges in terms of employment. But we have a very young population in the Philippines. The median age in the Philippines is 24 years old. 24. I think 24.3. The latest statistics. So there are opportunities for them in the business process outsourcing sector, and because many of the young generation are very IT proficient, and because of the pandemic, there are now more IT platforms and more jobs online. I think this is helping our young people find employment, at least the first kind of job, the first kind of employment. They're able to find work in that sense. But again, there are challenges in every country, but I think as most of the world recovers from the pandemic, there will hopefully be more opportunities for them, for the young people.
그 사실 한국 청년들은 일자리도 일자리인데 그 결혼하려면은 일단 부동산 가격이
그렇죠.
너무 비싸고.
네.
그리고 사실 그 결혼할 때 그 자체 비용이 좀 많이 들어요. 그래서 좀 결혼을 잘 안 하려고 그러고 또 아이를 키울 때 돈도 많이 들고 그러니까 좀 결혼이나 출산을 좀 꺼리는 문화가 되고 그러다 보니까 정말 전 세계적으로 출산율이 제일 낮은 나라가 됐습니다. 그 필리핀은 그 청년들의 고민 아니면 결혼 문화 이런 거는 좀 어때요?
Well, in the Philippines, the fertility rate is a little higher. It's at I think close to 2%. 2%. But of course, the younger generation now, they are more practical. So they are postponing marriage until later. Many Filipinos, young people get married around the age of 28 to 35. But their parents got married earlier in their 20s. So I think young people are more practical now. They will try to save first and prepare before getting married. So the housing concern is we don't really have that same challenge in the Philippines. Housing is still affordable. They can still find a good place, but they need to save. They also need to prepare for that. They need to prepare in the Philippines for that. So I understand, and I have met a lot of young Korean people, and I know the challenges. So I hope that at some point these challenges and difficulties for the young Korean people will be lessened in the coming years.
다 알고 계셨구나. 우리 대사님은 다 알고 계셨구나.
그러니까 이게 사실 이렇게 우리의 고민이면서도 이게 사실 다른 나라들 어쩌면 인류가 점점 가고 있는 그런 문제가
맞아요.
아닐까 싶은데 사실 한국은 그 2030년에 엑스포를 준비하면서 그 인류가 직면하고 있는 사회 문제를 어떻게 다른 국가 간의 협력을 통해서 해결해 볼 수 있을까에 대한 취지를 좀 담고 있어요. 그게 아까 전에 말씀드렸던 뭐 기후 변화 문제라든지 뭐 인구 고령화 문제, 그리고 양극화 문제 같은 다양한 인류적인 문제들이 좀 있을 건데 그 필리핀 국민들이 공감하고 있는 전 세계적인 인류적인 문제, 그 이 문제 해결하기 위한 교류 협력 이런 거는 좀 어떤 부분이 있을까요?
Oh yes, indeed. I personally find the theme chosen by the World Expo Bid Committee of Korea to be very timely, very important. Because global problems require global solutions, and I think that is the message that Korea is trying to share with the world with the bid for the World Expo 2030 hosting. I think if there is one challenge and one issue the world faces right now, it is the issue of climate change, and to really effectively address climate change, we need global solutions. And I think the Expo is a very good platform for that, for raising the issue even more. For example, I think if Korea is successful in its bid, then there is a very big opportunity to champion the issue of green transition to green energy, to green transportation, and to reuse, recycle materials and things, and to, I think, change the attitude of people, to make them see the importance and the urgency. This is not an issue. Climate change is not an issue which we will confront next month, next year, 2 years from now. It is an issue we have to face right now, and we need to face it as a united global community. So I think if Korea is successful, and because Korea has chosen sustainability as a major theme of the Expo, I think there is a very big opportunity to really push the green advocacy and agenda forward.
그 마지막으로 그 한국 국민들에게 좀 하고 싶으신 얘기 못 하신 게 있으면 마지막으로 한 말씀만 좀 부탁드릴게요.
Yes, first of all, the Philippines and Korea have enjoyed very close and robust ties for almost 75 years. We have shed blood together on the battlefield during the Korean War and stood shoulder to shoulder in defense of freedom and democracy. We have been steady partners for many decades, but now as we face challenges in the future, we hope that this strong partnership will grow even more into a future strategic partnership between the Philippines and Korea for the common prosperity and peace of Koreans and Filipinos and our other neighbors around the world. So thank you once again for having me on the program. In the Philippines, we say mabuhay and maraming salamat. Here you say 감사합니다.
마라밍 살라맛?
Maraming salamat.
Maraming
Thank
salamat.
you very much.
마라밍 살라맛.
마라밍 살라맛.
감사합니다.
제가 참 필리핀에 대해서
네.
너무 우리 중심적인 시각으로 봤다는 생각이 좀 들었어요. 우리가 자꾸 이제 우리는 관광에 대해서 얘기를 하고, 이렇게 대사님은 조금 더 넓은 범위에서 뭐 전기차라든지 자동차, 그린 에너지 같이 다양한 분야에 우리가 안고 있는 그 과제를 해결하기 위한 협력에 대한 얘기를 많이 해주신 것 같아요.
네.
그러면서 진짜 한국전쟁부터 벌써 75주년이 됐다라는 거, 그리고 FTA와 전략적 동반자 협정을 지금 맺고 있다라는 거. 그런 거 보면은 정말 우리가 그 국가가 우리를 어떻게 바라보고 있고
네네.
우리는 저 국가에 어떻게 접근해야 되는지를 오늘 대사님 통해서 조금 좀 잘 느낄 수 있었던 것 같습니다.
그러니까요. 필리핀 하면 세부만 떠오르면은 이거 안 됩니다. 지금 이 전환을 지금 얼마나 많이 하고 있습니까?
예, 그래서 오늘 마리아 데레사 대베가 주한 필리핀 대사님을 모시고 필리핀에 대한 얘기 그리고 한국과의 관계에 대한 이야기를 나눠봤습니다. 오늘 뭐 출연해 주셔서 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
감사합니다. 마라미 살라맛.
마라미 살라맛.
마라미 살라맛.
복잡하고 어렵게 느껴지는 재무제표와 용어들. 친절한 투자 멘토 사경인 마스터가 매주 새로운 콘텐츠로 알기 쉽게 설명해드립니다. 재무제표 분석과 포트폴리오 구성,
뭐 양대 재무제표라고 그러면 대차대조표랑 손익계산서가 있거든요.
매수 매도 방법,
이렇게 사는 게 좋겠네, 이렇게 사면 좋겠다. 근데 이렇게 살려면 뭘 해야 되냐면요, 나머지 3분의 1은 놔둬봅니다. 어디까지 가는지.
실전 투자 팁까지 알려드립니다. 오직 3프로 멤버십에서만 만나실 수 있습니다.